restless dreams, I see that town, Silent Hill. You promised you'd take me there again someday, but you never did. Well, I'm alone there now, in our special place, waiting for you.
I got a letter. The name on the envelope said Mary. My wife's name. It's ridiculous. Couldn't possibly be true. That's what I keep telling myself. A dead person can't write a letter. Mary died of that damn disease 3 years ago. So then, why am I looking for her? Our special place. What could she mean? This whole town was our special place. Does she mean the park on the lake? We spent the whole day there. Just the two of us, staring at the water. Could Mary really be there? Is she really alive? Waiting for me?
Silent Hill 2. An absolutely legendary title in the horror genre, as well as what I believe is one of the best story experiences in a game, prior to the modern age. The atmosphere of this game is absolutely unmatched. The soundtrack is obscenely good, and it's personally one of my favorite franchises. With the story we're starting with, James is looking for what is apparently his dead wife, Mary. And this letter James has received from Mary comes 3 years after she died from an unknown disease. This letter tells him that she's waiting for him at their special place. As we're walking through this forest, you can clearly hear the ambience. As we walk our way into the town, as the camera shifts as if there's something watching our lead character. And we come to find our save system, which are these red squares, which James notes are making him feel anxious, as if there's something crawling around inside of his head. This road also leads us to our first side character we'll be seeing in this game. Her name is Angela, and she's inspecting this graveyard, and she also says that she has been led here by some force and is looking for someone, being her mother. She also tries to ward James away from staying in Silent Hill, but James is persistent and remarks that he doesn't really care if the town is dangerous, showing a real lack of self-conservation.
This town, there's something wrong with it.
After talking with Angela and getting a little deeper into the town of Silent Hill, we find our first items, being the radio and our first melee weapon, which we're going to be using to beat our first enemy with. This enemy is off-putting and is feminine, as most of the other enemies in this game are going to be.
Is it dead? What the hell is it? It's not human. Oh yeah.
After we beat the enemy, the radio puts off a message that if you're listening, you're able to hear some of the foreshadowing for the real story of this game.
What the? I better take it anyway. I might need it.
But after this, we can finally make our way into the heart of the town, which is also full of enemies. You can also see a fun game mechanic here, which, since there is no HUD or other way to show items besides the actual pause menu, James will physically look at where the items are to let you know that there's something to pick up. We also find our first key item, which leads us to our first real area of the game, being the Woodside apartment complex. This is our first quote-unquote level, which is blocked off by some fences as if there's some contamination infecting the building. It's like it's been sealed off. Looks run down as we run inside, and this is going to be another area of introductions as well as items we'll be using throughout the whole playthrough, like the flashlight. When we find this, we also fight our first mannequin. And I backtrack and finally pick up the map. After doing so, we can attempt to grab this key, which inadvertently introduces us to another character named Laura.
Ow! Hey, wait! Damn it.
Someone we'll get formally introduced to later, but for now, we get our first ounce of firepower almost immediately after meeting her. And before I knew it, as I was exploring, I heard this alarming scream, which led me to him. This hunter, Pyramid Head. We'll be seeing him often, especially in the apartments. After we enter this room, we're able to find a body that looks suspiciously like James.
Oh my god. Who could have?
We find a room key and go to investigate, where we find this mysterious hole in the wall. This hole scores us yet another key, which we are going to need for one of the main puzzles of this area, the clock. There's a riddle on the side of the clock, but since I've already done this dance before, we don't need it to help. After we're done with the clock, we find Pyramid Head violating some mannequins. And we see James afraid for the first time in our story here, leading him to unload a full magazine into Pyramid Head. And after the beast leaves, we find a key to the courtyard, which will score us another item we need for the largest puzzle of this area. We also get to meet Eddie, who is retching in the bathroom in this apartment after we find a dead body and is attempting to proclaim his innocence. James introduces himself and asks him if he's in league with Pyramid Head. Eddie says no. After he says he's been seeing some other strange monsters, maybe Silent Hill has a unique hell for everybody that enters it. After our meeting with Eddie, I used some sodas to push down some trash to get another key item, which you're going to see a lot of gameplay here is getting items to get more items so we can open a room to have more gameplay. In my opinion, Silent Hill games are much more about the story than the actual gameplay loop that they put you in. But now we can enter the next set of apartments, which seems even more dilapidated than the first building. We also get a lead on where to get our next key. See what I mean? After reading a note, we're able to find Angela again, seeming suicidal as she contemplates a knife she holds in front of her.
I'm James.
James tries to talk her down, and she accuses him of feeling the same way she does. The scene is eerie, and as someone who has had to talk people down from feeling this way, it's accurate, almost uncannily. Skirting around their words, trying not to push someone off of the edge in their worst moments. Getting back to the scene, James finally manages to talk Angela down and gets the knife away from her after she has an outburst. The item we get out of this is something that can affect your ending of the game you get if you inspect it enough times. After completing the area puzzle, we get a key to another area which will lead us to our first boss fight of the game. We finally get to fight off Pyramid Head, and we find him once again violating another enemy right in front of us. It's clear we basically find him committing a crime almost as James tries to run away. The fight with Pyramid Head isn't hard by any means, but after we do enough damage, he retreats down the flooded stairway, and we finally get to leave the apartment section of the game. As we're leaving, we get to find Laura again, and she reveals that she actually knew Mary and knows about James and his apparent feelings for his wife.
That letter.
None of your business. You didn't love Mary anyway.
Wait! How do you know Mary's name?
The road leads to the park where James thinks he finally finds Mary, but it actually ends up being a woman named Maria, skimpily dressed look-alike of his
Mary?
wife.
No, you're not.
Do I look like your girlfriend?
No, my late wife. I can't believe it. You could be her twin. Your face, your voice, just your hair and clothes are different.
My name is Maria.
And she starts trying to help James find Mary.
Is this your only special place?
We get a flashback that makes James realize Mary may have been talking about the hotel that is out on the lake.
Well, there's the hotel too, I guess. The one on the lake? I wonder if it's still there.
The Lakeview Hotel? Yeah, it's still there.
After exploring a bit, we find a bowling alley, which Maria refuses to enter for some reason.
I didn't come here to play, you know.
Hurry back. Okay.
We're able to find Eddie again, and he's talking to Laura,
So what'd you
who,
do?
once she realizes we're here, decides to run away.
Nah, nothing like that.
Huh, you're just a gutless fatso.
What'd you have to say that for?
I thought you said the cops were after you.
No, I just ran because I was scared. I don't know what the cops are doing.
But if you did something bad, why don't you just say you're sorry? Well, I guess I run away a lot too.
It's no good. They wouldn't listen. Nobody will ever forgive me.
Are you alone here, Eddie?
No.
Bye-bye.
Wait! Come back! Eddie!
Eddie is fine with his laziness when he talks to James, which also leads to this legendary line.
Laura! Is that her name?
That's what she said.
This town is full of monsters. How can you sit there and eat pizza?
After we're done talking to Eddie, we leave, and Maria tells us that Laura just ran away from her as well. With Laura getting away through a tight corridor, Maria leads us
went
into a
through
building
there.
called Heaven's Night. Place she has a key to, and we can only assume that she was also employed at. This place has a great soundtrack that complements how worn down it looks, almost making it feel like the building is underwater. After we're done at Heaven's Night, we make our way to the Brookhaven Hospital, where we see Laura running through the front door. We find the map and start exploring, and this place is dirty and run down. Finding notes where people are losing their minds talking about this place called The Other Side. We also get our first sight of the Bubblehead Nurses, one of the most iconic enemies in this franchise. As well as our puzzle that is probably going to be getting us out of this area. Which we need this little hook here for.
Ow!
What's wrong?
I just pricked myself.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I also get the shotgun in this room, and Maria decides
You
to take a
should
nap.
rest.
So comfy.
So while she does that, we can explore the roof. Oh, fuck! At the very least, getting kicked down here makes it so we can get a code for the puzzle box of this area. We go and get another key and boom, we can open the box and get some hair so we can use this as a fishing line for the shower drain. Oh boy. Don't you just love Silent Hill?
He told me.
We use the elevator with the new key we got, and
How do
we
you
can
know
finally
about
find Laura.
Mary?
Surely this little girl
What's
has
the big
no
deal?
ill intentions,
Why can't you just
especially
tell
since
me?
we've been a huge dick to her
Yeah,
every
please,
time
I
we've
don't
seen her.
No, I won't.
She also reveals that she hasn't been in any danger the whole time she's been here,
Around here.
leading
I
us to
can't believe
believe
you haven't
that
even
she doesn't
gotten a
see any of
scratch
the
on you.
monsters that we do.
Why should I? Yeah.
She also makes
in the
us go
back.
and get a letter for her in a very dark room.
What are you doing, Laura?
It's further back in the desk.
Laura! What are you doing?
Oh.
Ha ha. I tricked you.
Open the door, Laura.
So this is Flesh Lips, a pretty suggestive name for a pretty weak boss fight in my opinion. Overall, this one is extremely claustrophobic, but it's also pretty easy. But what this leads to is much better, being our first glimpse at the other side in this game. It's an alternate dimension almost to the actual town of Silent Hill, and we finally made our way here.
James. James. James.
The hospital changes into a place that has plastic all over the walls, like they're trying to contain an infection of some sorts. We find some leads on what we need to find, which is some rings for a special door. We find Maria, and she looks much more
Mary?
energized after her nap.
Oh,
In
Maria.
probably what is the best
It's you.
performance in this game.
I thought you were... Sorry. Anyway, I'm glad you're alive.
Anyway, what
It's
do you mean,
raw and
anyway?
emotional, and you can
You don't sound
almost
very
feel
happy
this
to see me.
fake love coming from
I was almost
Maria
killed
for
back there.
James.
Hi there, everybody! Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to another exciting edition
Oh
of
shit,
Trick
it's my favorite game show, Trick or Treat. We can find a little treat box later after answering some questions about lore that has been hinted at in entries around the game so far. Then James absolutely fails at lifting a fridge door and gets one of the rings
Can't
we
open
need.
it?
Yeah, Maria, give me a hand here.
Come on. You're supposed to be the big man around here. How's a little girl like me supposed to help?
We open our game show box and get a shit ton of ammos and place the rings onto our exit door and trigger a chase sequence between Maria and Pyramid Head. And I only mention them because I'm running like 3 times faster than she was, and kind of seems like she wants to die with how slow she's going.
Open up!
But when we get to the elevator, Maria is killed and James is guilt-stricken. Yet another time he's failed to save a woman that just so happens to look like his wife. After we're done grieving, we find a map with instructions to go get a wrench and another key in the park so we can get into the Silent Hill Historical Society. Where we find a funny little painting depicting our hunter as well as a very long hallway. After that staircase, we find a hole going to nowhere, and this will lead us to a locked room with a key, which I got on the first try, and once again, leading to a hole to nowhere. After we find Eddie, after he is
But
seemingly
it wasn't my
again
fault.
murdered a man,
He made me do
once
it.
again pleading his innocence, but
I was
also
just
admitting
joking,
his guilt,
James.
as well as hitting me with a "just kidding." And I'll be honest, the Toluca prison in this version of the game, referring to the remake as well compared to this one, just isn't all that interesting besides a few areas. I really like this dark courtyard with this random horse galloping that freaks me the fuck out. We get a horseshoe after we solve the area puzzle, and we get the hell out of here almost. But we got one more thing to do before we can officially be out of here, which is jumping down 2 more holes to nowhere. This area is the labyrinth, which in my opinion is better than the prison, but not by that much. It's extremely short, and it's supposed to be mind-bending and all, but it's all the same for the most part, besides this puzzle box area. Solving the face box puzzle leads us to Maria,
not your
who
Mary.
is acting much differently than how she was at the hospital
So,
and
you're
beforehand.
Maria.
This is clearly a different person than what we had met, and it
I am.
feels
Don't you wanna
uncanny.
touch me?
She's trying to seduce
I
James and is getting extremely
don't
close
know.
to him. After the room with Maria, we get the wire cutters, which allow us to open more of the map so I can get to the boss of this area.
Daddy, please don't.
We find Angela cowering before this enemy called the Abstract Daddy, a clear representation of some kind of abuse that Angela has suffered during her childhood. This room is disgusting. Angela sits in the corner waiting for us to save her almost, and when we do, she takes the time to beat the corpse of her abuser. All that pent-up anger from her past, she starts to take it out on James as well.
Relax.
Angela leaves, accusing James of leaving Mary because he didn't want her anymore, or he found someone else.
That's ridiculous. I never.
After the boss, we find what leads to our exit for the labyrinth, being a puzzle where we have to free an innocent man from execution. And now we can check on Maria. But unfortunately, it looks like somehow we were too
Maria?
late. Maria looks like she died from some sort of infection that
Maria?
spread to her face, but there's so much blood that it looks like a murder.
What happened
Potentially
to
a
you?
little bit of foreshadowing.
Why? Why?
Our exit is a graveyard with a specific headstone that has our name on it. And we make our way down a long hall that has some smoke in it, but not fire kind of smoke. It's like it's cold. Which makes sense since we find Eddie in a meat locker once again after he's murdered someone else, saying it was okay because the man was bullying him. Eddie has been pushed to the edge. He poses a danger to us and himself, it seems. So this leads me to use all of my saved up ammo for my rifle to gun him down like he did to the dog he said he murdered. After we deal with Eddie, we get to finally make our way to the special place. On a fun little boat ride over to the hotel, we get to find Laura over
She
here.
was our nurse.
She finally starts acting nice since we share the same goal. Laura wants to find Mary's because they were friends at the hospital where Mary died, but from what Laura says, it seems like Mary died a lot more recently, since she just got this letter from the locker of the nurse that took care of both of them.
Mary couldn't have died 3 years ago.
Abstract daddies are back as a normal enemy, which actually jump scared me when I was doing this recording. I find some keys that lead to other rooms and another key that leads to the elevator, which I decided not to include in this footage. Totally wasn't because I completely lost it while editing. This part is cool. We actually get to dump all of our defenses to go down into the basement, and after exploring a little bit, we're able to find a safe that has our videotape and a can opener. Now, I didn't show it, but there were some enemies to avoid, and we were able to make our way into the kitchen for this bar of the hotel, which has a can of light bulbs for some reason. We placed a light bulb in this lamp, and to this day, I have no idea what this actually does. We go upstairs and get our stuff and make our way down to the main puzzle so we can start playing our music box, so we can finally get to the key to the hotel room where James and Mary originally stayed. We can play the tape that they had made here, and we find out the big twist I've been hinting at this whole time. While Mary was sick, James killed her. Not as an act of mercy, but because he couldn't deal with her anymore. James had shut out the memory because of regret, and when Laura comes into the room and she loses it,
Killed her.
not able to believe why he would do it if he truly loved her.
You killer! Why'd you do it? I hate you! I want her back! Give her back to me! I knew it! You didn't care about her! I hate you, James! I hate you! I hate you! I hate you! She was always waiting for you. Why? Why?
After we leave the room, the hotel is completely changed. It's grimy and worn down. The downstairs is flooded and completely out of order. Down in the basement, we're able to find Angela for the last time, seemingly in a glimpse of her own Silent Hill. A place constantly on fire, and in her delusion, she almost believes James is her mother. She asks James to give back the
Give
knife,
me
and
back
when he
that
refuses, she says he's going to use it on himself, which he denies.
I won't.
But she finally walks off into the flames, and
Saving
even
it
if
for
we
yourself.
try to follow her and save her, we can't. After we leave Angela to her fate, we find Maria one last time, being tormented by the Pyramid Heads, using Maria as a way to torture James by killing her over and over. They serve as a way to punish James for what he did, a physical way to show his regret. Now that he has grieved fully, he's willing to move
I
past
was
his
weak.
mistakes and guns down the both of them.
That's why I needed you. Needed someone to punish me for my sins. But that's all over now. I know the truth. Now it's time to end this.
After we finally beat them, we can make our way to the roof, where we can hear what is most likely one of Mary and James'
Mary?
last interactions.
What do you want, James?
It's powerful, and I'm
I,
gonna let it speak for
I
itself.
brought you some flowers.
Flowers? I don't want any damn flowers. Just go home already.
Mary, what are you saying?
Look, I'm disgusting. I don't deserve flowers. Between the disease and the drugs, I look like a monster. Well, what are you looking at? Get the hell out of here. Leave me alone already. I'm no use to anyone. I'll be dead soon anyway. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. It'd be easier if they'd just kill me. But I guess the hospital is making a nice profit off me. They want to keep me alive. Are you still here? I told you to go. Are you deaf? Don't come back. James, wait. Please don't go. Stay with me. Don't leave me alone. I didn't mean what I said. Please, James. Tell me I'll be okay. Tell me I'm not going to die. Help me.
After that, we can finally find Mary
When
after
will
all
you
this
ever
time, but
stop making that
she speaks like
mistake?
Maria, and it's clear that
Mary's
Maria
dead.
wasn't real.
You killed her.
She was never real at all.
Maria?
Only a coping
It's
mechanism
you.
the town had manifested for
But I
James.
don't need you anymore.
What? You must be joking. But I can be yours. I'll be here for you forever. And I'll never yell at you or make you feel bad. That's what you wanted. I'm different than Mary. How can you throw me away?
I understand now. It's time to end this nightmare.
No, I won't let you. You deserve to die too, James.
She transforms into another monster, a corpse locked to the bed frame that Mary died on. As powerful as this moment is, the boss fight isn't all that intimidating, and after she falls, we need to put her down one last time. We got our best ending, a confrontation between a dead Mary and James, where he explains why he killed her.
Life back.
Mary lets James move on, and that's what he does.
Please. Please do something for me. Go on with your life.
We get the real letter in the final moments of the game that James had received from Mary, and James takes Laura away from Silent Hill and gets to live the rest of his life. Before we end the video off, I did want to say that there's not going to be a new video next week because I'm going to be busy moving into a new house. But the week after that, we should be covering another classic game. We're going to be going back to the 90s for a 2D platformer. So, see you then.